The next morning, we had to have a look around the island of Kumlinga before continuing our exploration of the archipelago sea. The rental bikes took a little getting used to, as they were fixed cog bikes with no brakes, but once mastered were the ideal way to get around the island.
See it pulsing.
Although technically belonging to Finland, the archipelago is in effect an autonomous region. The islands have their own flag and postage stamps, and their own police force. It's a demilitarised zone, even to the extent that islanders are exempt from conscription, which is compulsory everywhere else in the country. The islanders enjoy all the benefits of being a part of Finland, yet carry few of the burdens. When you're doing a trip like this, it's good to have a plan. It's also good to be flexible enough to be able to break the plan. And I have fallen in love with the islands of the archipelago sea. They're totally and utterly awesome. I'm definitely coming back here again. So what we've done, we've actually decided we're going to skip a couple of places I'd hoped to do in Sweden. We've spent a couple of extra days here, and our last night here in the archipelago sea, we're actually just moored out in the middle of nowhere. We've just anchored off. We're going to cook some steaks, spend the night here. The forecast is beautiful. It's like this. It's just glass calm. A wonderful end to our visit to the archipelago sea. Cheers. The next morning we left the shelter of the islands into the open sea, heading for Sweden. It's hard to miss the landmark for the city marina in Stockholm, as it's this amusement park. Stockholm's built on several islands, and due to the ferries and other boats passing day and night, it's not the most comfortable of moorings, but the benefit is that it's close to the heart of the city. And Stockholm is certainly a great city to explore by boat. There's never enough time when making a trip like this. For all of us, commitments back home were calling. So leaving Stockholm, we decided to head back south. There is a lake and canal system cutting through Sweden from Stockholm all the way to Gothenburg, but we decided to save that for another year and cover as much distance as we could, aiming homewards. Weather drove us into the pretty Danish harbour of Hano. Eddie left us here by ferry, bus, train and plane back for work in the UK. No matter where you are around the Baltic, there are always good transport links. And the weather played a big part in our choice of the next overnight stop too. Well, so near and yet so far. Just 30 miles from the Kiel Canal, and the sea and the wind started kicking up. You can probably hear the wind now, it's still howling through. We just couldn't go any further. It's one of the few times in my boating career that I've just thought, this sea is too much, I've got to turn in and get shelter. And the only shelter nearby was this gorgeous little pontoon here, which is a sailing club. We came in, there was nobody around, and then suddenly people started arriving on the lawn here, and they pulled out a barbecue, and it was their Wednesday evening, sailing evening. The wind was too strong to sail, so they had the barbecue and they invited us up for a beer and a barbecue. So, as always, it's not as bad as it seems to be. Well, it's amazing how things can change, as they always do at sea. We got up at 5 this morning, inched out, it was still choppy, but we saw a Stena Line ferry that was running towards Kiel. So we tucked right in behind it, so it flattened the sea for us and just plodded along at 12 knots behind that. And we're now waiting to enter the Kiel Canal. It's the end of our Baltic adventure, and it's been one hell of an adventure. I think we've only just scratched the surface of the Baltic. It's an awesome, awesome boating and sailing region, and I am definitely coming back. So many good memories.